Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another session with Learning Jar. Today's topic of the day is how to gamify your classroom using quizzes. Without further ado, let me just share my screen so that we can start on time. And I welcome all the educators who have joined us today. Feel free to write your name, the place from where you're joining, your school's name in the chat box. My name is Ritika Tyagi. I'm the founder of Learning Jar, a mathematics and science educator, a Google certified trainer and innovator, and a Quizizz super trainer. You can reach out to me using the website www.learningjar.in. Today, we are going to talk about quizzes. I'm sure, like me, most of the educators must have been facing problems during the COVID times. So, we were searching for all the tools which will help us to make our classroom more engaging and interesting. So, today I'm going to show you about one tool which is quizzes, which helped me a lot to engage my students, be it online mode, offline mode, or a hybrid mode. But before I tell you, I just want to ask you a question. As an educator, how much time do you spend on class prep every week? I'm sure as a teacher, we think about all the activities to make our classes engaging. We think about planning the class content. Do we have to make this topic synchronous or asynchronous? How do we take the formative and summative assessment? How do we assign and review the homework? How do we give the assignments and how do we give the feedback? Also, we worry about connecting with our parents and guardians. We think about various activities which help us to engage the students in classroom. So as a teacher, it becomes really very hectic to think about so many things and prepare for the lesson. And I'm sure, like me, you must be spending a lot of time in getting coffee or tea. So just write in the chat box how much time do you spend as a teacher in planning all these things out. Okay, so we have Ananya ma'am from DPS with us. We have Sabura ma'am from Chennai. So just let me know what is the time duration that you spend on class preparation every week. In my case, it would be at least 2 to 3 hours. Every day, I would think about what I have to do today, tomorrow, what are the topics, how I have to go about it. But let me tell you one trick. Since the time I have started using quizzes, I can do all of these things easily within just half an hour, except the coffee part, which is on you. Quizzes has made it very, very easy as an educator to plan everything to engage my students in both the classroom, that means in the offline and in the online mode. But what is quizzes? So it's a teacher powered learning and engagement platform which can be used in online, offline, and hybrid mode. And the best part is that over 30 million ready made quizzes and lessons are there, which are available on quizzes. Be it English, math, science, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu. There are so many lessons and quizzes which are available on quizzes, pre created by other teachers around the world, which can be shared to the students. It's perfect for instruction, it's perfect for reviewing the students' work and taking low stakes assessment, like formative assessment. You can provide instant feedback to the students and it saves a lot of time in grading the work. So when I talk about quizzes, I can use it in the online classes also. I can also assign the homework with putting a get deadline or a without a deadline. So if you want to ask your students to submit a work by next week, you can put a deadline and they'll be able to submit it within a specific time period. So, as I mentioned, you can assign homework with deadlines. It saves a lot of time. The homework gets checked or auto graded on its own. You can also provide one on one feedback to the students within just seconds. You can assign your homework with custom grading through learning management software integration. That means quizzes can be integrated with Google Classroom and other LMS software which you're using in your school or in your learning platform. It helps students gain mastery with adaptive question banks. So there are millions of questions which are available on quizzes, which you can use as a teacher and make your classes more happening. You can engage everyone. So teachers can choose between instructor-paced and self-paced mode. That means if you want the students to do the quiz in front of you, you can choose instructor-paced. If you want them to do the quiz later on after the class, you can choose self-paced mode. Students can join from anywhere. So in Learning Jar, we are having students from all around the world. We have been using this Quizizz platform since a long time, and trust me, the boundaries they don't matter over here. So students can join from anywhere. The gamified features of quizzes, it helps to motivate and improve the students with every attempt. So they get to know their mistakes and they start working on it. Quizzes also includes accessibility features such as language support, image zoom, and read aloud. So if you feel that your students are facing problem in reading the question, then you can use the read aloud option. If you feel that students are not able to see the image clearly, then you can use the image zoom option as well. As I mentioned, quizzes can save a lot of time and it can handle your busy work. So you get the time for yourself. You can find and customize curriculum content within just a second. You can provide the data and feedback without marking, without checking all of it in a very hectic way. Your students can join within seconds using just a code or a link, and it saves time with integration with Google Classroom. Your learning management software and a lot of tools are also integrated with quizzes. Okay, so I've been talking a lot. Let's find out how does quizzes work? What are the features available over here? The first feature is quizzes library. I'm going to show you live that how this library contains 30 million quizzes which are already teacher created, and there are lessons also like PPTs. You can use search filters so that you can search for a particular grade or a particular level. You can mix and match questions from multiple quizzes using teleport option. So there's a feature called teleport using which you can mix and match the questions as well. We also have a news for you that we are coming up with a new section, CBSE curriculum, and it is going to be really very helpful for the teachers who are teaching the CBSE students. So NCRT questions are also going to be mapped on quizzes. If you don't want to use a teacher created quiz, you can also create a quiz on your own. You can use so many options are there for the questions. Like we have a multiple choice question, we have a checkbox, we have a fill in the blanks type of a question, we have a poll question, open ended, or we can ask the students to draw as well. Apart from this, you can also include images, GIFs, audio, and video in your quizzes. You can also bulk import from a spreadsheet and it doesn't take much time. You can also add higher order thinking skill question using all these options here. So if you want to make your own quiz, feel free to go ahead. So let's find out how does this really look like. If you're joined in using your laptop or your mobile, I'll request you all to follow the instruction. First, we are going to write quizzes.com, press enter. Now, this is the home page. So if you're signing up for the first time, you need to go to sign up for free. Or in my case, I have already signed up. So I'm going to go to login. So you can log in using your Google account or your Microsoft account. I'm going to log in with my Google account. And I have logged in now. This is the home page. Now on your left side, you'll see a lot of tools here. The first one is Explore, where you can search for any quiz or lesson. The second one is My Library, which you can use to search for a quiz which you have already prepared. Then you have something called Reports. Reports give you the whole analysis of the quizzes that you have already conducted in the class. Then you have something called Classes, where you can create a class of your own and add the students. Then we have Settings, where you can see all your account information. If you go down to More, you can see all the collections here, memes here, and your profile as well. So right now I'm going to show you how to explore a quiz. So I go to this Explore option. I search for a quiz. Let's say I want to search something on adjectives. So I write adjectives here. I click on it, and within seconds, I get around 70,000 results here. Now, if you want to filter it more, you can use the option here, filter by. You can filter it according to the grade. So let's say I want a quiz from the middle school level. So I'm going to choose middle school. Then obviously I'm going to choose English here. We have more filters if you want to filter according to the number of questions. So let's say I want to choose 1 to 10 numbers and 11 to 20. and apply. See, so now the search results have been narrowed down to 10,000. Now I can just hover my cursor here and see all the previews here. Um, let's say I want to play this quiz. So I'm going to click on it. Now I'll get two options to start a live quiz right now or to assign this as a homework. But before I go there, I can just go down and see whether all the questions and the answers are right or not. Okay, this looks fine to me. Now what I'm going to do is, since I want to play it live in the class right now, so I'll go here on this box. I'll click on the classic option because I want my students to play in front of me. Now again I go down. I can see all the settings here. So if you want the students to see the memes, you can turn this on. But I like to turn it off, so I've turned it off. You can play the music or turn it off. You can keep the redemption question on. The redemption question means that if a student has done a quiz wrong or a question wrong, they can redeem it by doing it again. So I like to keep it on. Then if you want to shuffle the answer option, you can do that. I can keep it off as well. You can shuffle the questions if you want or turn it off if you don't want. Then if you want to show the leaderboard, you can turn it on or you can turn it off as well. Now, if you want to put the timer, you can set the timer from here. If you are conducting a test, then you can go ahead with test timer. Now, if you want to make it something like a fun quiz for your students, so you can give them power ups where they'll be getting special abilities like 50-50, or maybe they will getting a superpower where they'll get extra bonus point. So you can turn it on to make it more fun. Now, when we go up, now over here, if you are giving the quiz to your class students for the first time or you want them to conduct this as a test, so what you can do here is you can click here and make it one. So the participant will not be able to attempt it unlimited number of times, can do it only one time. So this option can be turned on. It's just that the participants will be required to log in to limit attempts for this quiz. So they have to sign in using an email ID. Right now, I want to keep this as unlimited so that they can practice. Then you can show the answers during activity. You can keep it on. Show answers after activity. You can keep this on as well. I think this looks fine now. I'm going to go here and click on continue. The moment I click on continue here, I get a lot of themes. So I can pick any theme from here like this. Let's say I want to go ahead with this theme. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll click here on share via, or I can ask my students to open their device and type down joinmyquiz.com and enter the joining code. If you want to share the link, you can just go here on share via and copy the link from here. So the link will be copied and you can share it on the chat box. If you want to share it using Google Classroom, you can share it on Google Classroom. You can share it on Microsoft Teams, Canvas, Schoology, Remind, or Twitter, wherever you want to share. So this is how you share a quiz. I'll show you how the students are going to join later. Let's go back. Now, what is there on Explore? I'll show you that. So we'll go to quizzes. Now, in Explore, we can also search for lessons. So let's say I want to search a PPT or a lesson in adjectives again. So I'll write adjectives. Now this time I'm going to go to lessons now. So these are lessons or PPTs which are already created by the teachers. I can search for any particular PPT which I like. I can see the slides from here. They have included some questions also. So I think this looks fine. So I can share it again using the same process. I can present it in my class or I can share it with my students also. This process remains the same the way you share a quiz. Now let's go to my library. So in my library, you're going to find all the content that you have created. So you can see created by me. Here you can find all the quizzes or lessons that you have used till now. Then you'll find something which, if you have liked a quiz or a lesson, you can find it under here. And if someone has shared a quiz or a lesson with you, that also you can find here. So my library is a collection of all the quizzes or lessons that you have created. Now let's say I want to go to the reports. I go here on reports, and let's say I want to see this report on bar graph. Now this gives me a whole analysis that there was one participant who had joined and his accuracy was 86%. He got this much score. If I want, I can email the score and this report directly to the parent. I can also print and download this report, or I can simply delete it. So I can see that 14 questions were there and the participant has attempted one time. So within few seconds, I can see the report, see the whole analysis, and email the report to the parent as well. I'm sure the educators are finding it easy. Now let me just give you a look how it looks. So I'll share the link of the quiz with you all. So just give me one moment. I'll share the link. Okay, I'll request all the teachers to join now using this link. So once the teachers start joining in, I can see the number of participants here. So I'm requesting all of you to join in. Just click on the link, write your name, and press on enter. So I'm waiting. If you're not able to join using the link, you can also open your browser, write joinmyquiz.com, and enter the code. Okay, let me just refresh my screen. Meanwhile, I'll just show you how the classes work. So when you go to classes, you can create a class from here, or you can import a new class from your Google Classroom as well. So if you're using Google Classroom in your school, you can directly import a new class from there, and all the students along with their email IDs can be imported. Or if you want, you can create a class of your own. So let's say I want to enter a class name, demo class. If you want, you can turn off this option where the students will be required to enter a guardian's email address. I don't want this, so I can turn it off. I can choose the color code from here as well, and then click on create class. The moment you do this, you can share this link with the students so that they can join in over here, and within one click you'll be able to share the quiz or the lesson in the class as well. So you don't have to share the links with each and every student individually. You can directly share it in the class as well. So here you can see the first name of the student, the last name, student email ID, and the parents email ID if you have asked for it. So directly you can manage your classes from Quizizz as well. Now let me show you how quizzes work when you have to create. I have a student who has joined in. So let's start it. The moment I hit on start, the quiz is going to start. So I have Ananya who's joined in here. I have turned off the music. Then I have Sunita ma'am who is joined in here. Welcome, Sunita ma'am. So now, as they are playing it, I'll be able to see their progress live. I can see the questions that they have done right. The green color represents the correct question. The red color represents the wrong question. And if something is black or gray in color, it means that they have not answered it yet. You can also see the top scores from here. So I have 3 teachers who are playing this right now. And as you can see, we can see it live, how they're progressing. So this looks really very fun, and the kids, they love it. Just trust me, they love how to play the quiz, and it makes them feel competitive. They just want to do better. So they love quizzes. So I can see Ananya ma'am is leading right now. Now, if you, this is the leaderboard that I can see. If I go to questions here, I can see that they have attempted the first question, the second, and the third one. So if I click on the first question here, it takes me to the question, and I can see the progress from here as well. So the red one means that it has been answered wrong. The green one means that it has been answered correctly. So this is how the quiz works. Now, if I end the quiz right now, if I want the students to be back, so the quiz is going to end, and I can see the on the leaderboard, I can see that the leader is Ananya ma'am. Congrats, Ananya ma'am. Now, once the quiz gets over, within just seconds, you get the whole analysis. So you get the class accuracy, you get which one is the toughest question, you get to know which one was the longest question in which the students had taken most of the time, which one was the interesting fact about your quiz. So you can see it within just few seconds. Now, if you go down and if you go to this overview, you can actually see which questions were right, which questions were wrong, and which questions were left unanswered. Now, if you go to this questions here, then when you go to questions, you can see, if you click on this question here, you can see that 3 players have answered this correctly. If you go to the second question, so you can see 1 player has chosen the third option, 2 players have chosen the first, second, and the fourth option here. Now, when you go next, so you can see the answers, what the students have given. So this becomes really very easy to correct the students then and there so that they can learn it. Now, I'll show you how you can create a quiz or a lesson of your own. So first we have to click here on this create option. We go to this new quiz option here. We give the name to the quiz. Let's say I want to create a quiz on fractions. So I'll write fractions here. Now fraction belongs to mathematics subject. So I'll choose mathematics. I'll click on next. Now, what I can do is I can search for a quiz from the Quizizz library by using the teleport option, or I can create a question of my own. So I can choose a multiple choice or a poll or fill in the blanks or an open-ended question or ask them to draw something. So let's say I want to choose a multiple choice option. Now, I'll just type down the question here. What is half of 40? So I'll type the options now. Is it 30? Is it 20? Is it 15 or is it 10? I'll give random options or whatever you feel is right for the student. I give those options. Now, before moving ahead, you need to choose the right option. So here half of 40 is going to be 20. So I'll choose the correct option and it will turn green. And then I can save, if there is more than one correct answer, I can turn this on. If you want the students to take 10 seconds or 20 seconds or 30 seconds or more than that, you can set the timer as well. Right now, I think this question is pretty easy. So I'm going to give 10 seconds and then I'll click on save. So the first question has been added. Now, if you feel to add more questions by teleporting from the quizzes library, so you just go here, write fractions, your topic, click on search, and all the questions and quizzes related to fractions are going to appear over here. So whichever question you feel is good for your students, you can add that by just clicking here on add a question. So the question will be directly added to my quiz. Now, if you want to add, let's say this one, I'm just randomly adding them. Okay, this question contains images also. I'll use it. This looks really nice, so I'll use this as well. And when I'm done, I'll just go back to my quiz here. I'll just put a cross here. So I have added almost around 5 questions to my quiz by using the teleport feature. Now, before sharing the quiz with the students, it's very important a preview how it looks. So you can click on preview here, and you can see the preview how it's going to be presented in front of the students. So I can see that there are 7 questions, then there are multiple choice questions here. You can go to next. You can see the next option here, next question here. Then this is the next question. And like this, you can see the whole preview. Then close it. Now, before you save the quiz that you have created, it's important that you upload a quiz image. So you click here on this. Now, either you can drag and drop or click here to upload from your computer or from your library. Or what you can do is you can directly search for a picture. So I'll click fraction here, and I can search it from the Google library as well. So I like this one, or I can use this one also. I click this and I'll click on insert. Now this option is available only with the super plan and not with the basic plan. With the basic plan, you can add a picture from your computer library, but with the super plan, you can add a picture using the quizzes library as well. Now you specify the languages. So this is in English language. You can specify it in other languages as well. Now, if you want to select grades, so you can select the grades from here, or I feel this is relevant to um, third grade to fourth grade. So I can choose the class range from here. Then if you are sharing it with your co-teacher or just with a limited number of students, you can make it private. If you want to share it with everyone, then you can make it public, which is visible to everyone. So I can go ahead with public visible to everyone, and I'll click on save. The moment I click on save, all the criterias are fulfilled, and now I can simply save it and share it with my students. So this is how my quiz has been created. Now again, using the same process, I can start a live quiz or assign this as a homework. So let's say if I assign this as a homework, I can choose the custom deadline from here. So I want them to finish it by 6th of May. So I'll choose 6th of May here. I can set the time. So let's say I want them to finish it by 1 p.m. So this is the deadline. 5 days, 17 hours and 33 minutes from now. And if you go down, you can again set the limits. I don't want the power-ups. I don't want the leaderboard. I want to shuffle the question and the answer. I don't want memes. I don't want the music to be played. So once the settings are done, you click on assign, and the homework will be assigned to the students or to the class directly. Now from here, you can see how many students have done it, how many students are still remaining to do it. You can see the accuracy directly from here, and it will be automatically graded. So you'll get to know the marks also. So this is very, very easy. As a teacher, I don't have to manually check each and every notebook or each and every answer sheet or answer script. I can simply prepare a quiz and I can share it with my student to do it in the class also, or to do it at home as well. So if there is any question, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer it. Just type in the chat box. Now let me show you how we can create a lesson. This was all about a quiz. Now Quizizz has also come up with a new feature which is called lesson, which is similar to a PPT, but it is very, very interactive. So let's say I want to create a PPT on pollution. And let's say it's related to social studies. Click on next. Now I can choose a design from here. So I think I want to go with this one. I'll click on next here. So it's just similar to a PowerPoint or a Google slide that you use. Once you have chosen your theme, all the slides are going to be in that particular theme. So this is done now, and I can close it. It's taking a bit time. Meanwhile, I can just try which theme goes better with my content, and I have a lot of options to be chosen from here. I think there's a technical issue, so it's taking a bit time. I'll just refresh it, and there is the theme that I had chosen. Okay, so now this is the title slide where it's already written that it's Pollution by Ritika Tyagi, who has created it. Now let's say I want to add a new slide, so I'll click here on this option which is add new slide at the bottom. I'll click here, and it depends on me now which type of slide type do I want. Do I want to go ahead with a blank slide? Do I want to choose a title slide only? or is it a text slide with media, or a full screen media, or a web page link? So I think I'll go ahead with the full screen media. Now, what I can do here is I can add a video. So let's say I want my students to be aware about what is pollution and I want to show a video to them on that. So I'll click here on the video option. Now I have two options here. Either I can import from Google Drive or I can upload to Google Drive. Okay. Now, or I can just search it directly from YouTube. So let's say I want to search something on pollution from YouTube. I click on search here and I get a lot of options here. So I really like this video. I'll click here. Now, the best part about quizzes is that I can adjust the start time and the end time, and there are no ads here. So let's say I want my students to see the video from 12 seconds to 21 minutes and 6 seconds. So I'll click on insert here and the video will be inserted on the whole slide. So this is really very easy and you can start creating your PPTs in an interactive way. Next slide. Now this time I want a web page link to be added here. So I'll click on web page link. Now I'll search something on pollution on Google. Pollution class, let's say 5. And the moment I search on it, I have got a lot of options here. So let's say I want to this add this Britannica website link. I'll just copy the link from here, go back. I can click here on add link and directly paste it, or I can search it as well. So click on save and your link will be added directly. So if you want to share a resource or a PDF with your students, you can add the link directly and it will be visible to the students. All right. Now we go here on add new slide again. Now I can select a question also. Now let's say I want to answer them a question after this video and web resource. How many types of pollution are there? I can give the options here. Are there 4 types of pollution, 5 types of pollution, 8 types of pollution, or 2 types of pollution? And I think the answer is 5. So what I can do is I can choose this as a correct answer, or I can just simply set the time and directly go to the next slide. If I want, I can add an image to this poll also. I can add an audio and video also. But the feature of audio and video is available only for the super plan and not for the basic plan. So it depends on you. I think if you're using basic, it's still good to go ahead with. The question will be in the form of poll. So the student are going to vote and you can see the answers over here. Now, if you want to add a shape, you can do that as well. So let's say I choose a blank slide. Now from here I can choose a shape as well. So if you're teaching math or if you're teaching English or any other subject and you want to use shapes and make it more interesting for the students, you can use shape. You can type here types of pollution, and then you can add, if you want to add a media, you can add something, an image also, an audio also. So let's say if I want to add an image on types of pollution, I can directly insert it from my computer or search from the Quizizz library. So I click here on types of pollution. I get a lot of things here. Suppose let's say I choose this image, I can click on insert and the image will be inserted directly on my slide. I can resize it, make it bigger, make it smaller. I can replace it also. I can duplicate the image like this, okay? Or I can simply delete it. Now let's say if you want to delete the shape, you can simply delete it using your delete button. So this is my image which I have uploaded from the Quizizz library. You can also upload from your Google Drive as well. Now, if you are teaching math or if you want some data to be represented, you can also add tables as well. Here you can mention the number of rows. So let's say it's 23 or maybe like 2, number of columns 4, and you can insert a table as well and enter the data inside it. So Quizzes makes it really very interesting that you can make your PPTs so engaging, and you can compile all the resources together in one place. Now I'll show you what's the best part here? There's something called draw type in one of the slide types here. You can click here on draw type. Now I'll show you how this works. So let's say if I type what is 3 by 4 and I want my students to answer this, then I can select a background where it can be a blank image in the background or an image. So I want to choose blank. So when the student they get this lesson, they can actually show that this is how it works. So they can draw a circle. I'm so sorry for my drawing. And they can mark four parts here. They can color 1, 2, and 3, and they can say that this is 3 out of 4. So like this, you can ask them to solve equations in math, questions in math. You can do a lot of things here and ask them to label the diagram. So that can also be done. So this draw type feature is completely new for the teachers and it is very, very interesting. Please try it out. Now, if I click on add new slide here, I can add a audio response here. So I click here on audio response and I can just simply record my voice, or what the students can do is the students can also record their responses and they can send it over here. And you get to choose how long do you want the students to record their video. Is it going to be for 5 seconds? Is it going to be for 10 seconds? And so on. So they can send the answer in an audio format. For English teachers, you can ask the students to recite a story or a poem and then send it across to you. Then let's go back. I'm choosing a blank slide here. Now, if you simply just want to add a text, you can add a heading, you can add a body text, you can also add bullets, and you can share the items here. So you can write effects of pollution, and you can write all the effects here in the bullets. Okay, so I'm sure you're enjoying it. Now once this is done, you need to save the lesson. So how do we do that? First we are going to do this, go to this preview option. We see the preview of the slides, how it looks. So we have a video, we have a web page, we have a poll question here, then we have the types of pollution here. Then we have added a table where we can add the statistics and we can add the data and we can talk about it. Then there's a question for the students to solve. Then we can ask them to open their audio recorder and record something. And then we can add bullets and so many more things. Now, once you feel that the preview looks good and my slide is good to go, what you can do is you can just save it. Okay, so there is a missing question, which is question number 8. I'll just go back. Currently, I don't have anything to add, so I'll just delete it. Now I'll try to click on save again. Now again, the same process goes, add a title image. So this can be related to pollution. So I'll search something on pollution here. Suppose I want this to be my cover title. I'll just select this image. Now I want the English language to be chosen. The grades can be from 5th to, let's say, 6th. I want to make it private, so I can make it private, which is visible to me only. And then click on save. Now this is done. Again, the same process. I can assign it as a live lesson or I can assign it as a homework. I can also find it here under the category of my library. So when you go to my library, you can see all the content that you have created. So if you choose the quizzes option here, you can see just the quizzes that you have prepared. If you go to the lessons option here, you can see all the lessons that you have prepared. So everything has been sorted and it becomes really very easy to find. Now I'll show you again another feature of quizzes, which is really very amazing and will help you to go paperless as well. So let's say I want to find something on fractions. I'll search a worksheet on fraction. Let's say I want this one. Now I can see from here how this looks. Okay, now I have an option here to see the preview. So what you can do is you can directly play the quiz with your class as well. You can start it right now and you are going to play it live in front of your students. So they are going to answer, and you can choose the right answer on their behalf. So write the improper fraction as a mixed number. So you can choose whichever is the right option, this one, and then you get a lot of power ups here. You can choose whichever power up you have been awarded. And this is how you can play a quiz live in the class with your students as well using the preview option. Okay. Now, if you want that, I don't have the time to play it live in my class, I just want to give them as a printout. So what you can do is you can click here on the print option here, and this is how the worksheet can be printed. So Quizizz is also called as destroyer of worksheet because you don't have to write the questions on your own. You don't have to type the math equation. Everything can be printed and has been written in a particular format easily. Now, if you want to share the answer key with the students, you click here on the answer key. The answer key is going to be visible at the end. If you don't want the answer key to be shared, just turn it off. If you want the check boxes not to be there, you can turn this off. If you want the check boxes to be there, turn it on. If you don't want the options, then you can turn it off and give this as a short answer question, or you can give this as an MCQ. Now you can shuffle the question if you feel that the students might be sitting together in the class and you don't want them to ask each other questions. So you can shuffle the questions, you can shuffle the answers as well. If you feel that there's a particular student who's not able to see the smaller fonts, you can make it large or extra large like this. Now you can change the question image also, and you can make it large and extra large like this. Then you have options image as well. So you can change the font size and style and the image size and style according to your wish. Once you feel that this is ready, you can save it as a PDF or take the printout directly. So you save a lot of time in just preparing the question paper or giving the answer key to the students. So I'm sure this becomes really very easy for all the teachers. I can see there are no questions yet. Please feel free to write your questions in the chat box if you have any. I'll be glad to answer them. So this is all about quizzes, and we can create a quiz, we can create a lesson, we can use other teachers' quizzes and lesson in our classes and make it more interesting. Now, if you want to join a particular quiz, then you have to enter the code here and you'll be able to join a quiz using this enter a join code. Now, I have something planned for all the teachers who have joined today. I'm going to show you how the quizzes can be used in a classroom, be it online or offline. So, first, you can use it for an independent practice to be given to the student. So, students, they're going to learn on their own and they are going to be an independent learner. Then you can use it for interactive learning. You can combine your teaching material with polls and discussion points. Quizzes can be used for all the subjects, not just English or math. We also have Hindi lessons, Hindi worksheets as well, and other languages also. You can start active discussions and let you transform the traditional one-way classroom instruction into a dialogue. So it's not just the teacher who is doing all the talking, but the students are also participating equally. Then we can assess the students in a formative assessment pattern. We get to see the whole analysis as I have already shown you. You get the ready-made insights, which is really helpful. As a teacher, I can reflect back that, okay, this is what my students actually need, and I want to revisit these topics again. Then this is something which I wanted to share with you all, how to use lessons on quizzes. So if you want to use quizzes before the class, you can use it for your goals and expectation setting. If you want to use it during the class, you can use it for reviewing and recap your lesson. You can use it as a debate club or concept checks with your poll. If you feel that the students are feeling tired and they want some energizer, you can use the quizzes during class. And after the class, you can provide all the resources, make a lesson, give it to the students so that they can revisit whatever has been done in the class. So it is helpful as a study resource. You can share follow-up assignment, you can prepare test preparation worksheet and share it with them, or you can use it as a lesson notepad. As I've already mentioned, quizzes is a destroyer of worksheets, so you don't have to prepare a worksheet and spend all that time on that. have a nice cup of coffee, sit relaxed, and everything will be done by quizzes. Uh, there are always the teachers, they keep on asking me how to use quizzes as an exam mode or in an exam mode. So these are the points that you have to keep in your mind. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this as well. You can set quiz as private. Do not set that as a public quiz. Second, host and test mode. That means you can limit the number of attempts. All right. Keep it as one so that the students cannot repeat it again and again. Share your game link via your preferred LMS. So if you're using, let's say, Zoom, then share the link of it on Zoom or on Google Classroom, whichever platform you're using. So share it with your school within the limited community of teachers and students that you have. And you can use it for your exam also. Then there are 20 icebreakers activity, which you can use for your virtual classroom and for the online classes as well. You can create a fun about me quiz for the students. You can help the students to make a daily schedule. You can play a virtual bingo, which I play all the time. I also play this or that quiz with my students. I give them random quiz questions and I ask them, what do you want? Do you want to go to the hills or to the beaches? So I keep on playing these kind of quiz in my classes. Then you can also play get to know your teacher quiz. You can play a virtual spelling bee. You can ask the students to share a non-academic skill they would like to learn. And you can also share midweek subject pop quiz. So you can use it wherever and however you want. Now, there is this daily check in quiz, which I always use again. What I generally do is in the beginning of my lesson, once in a while, I share this check in quiz with my students just to know how they're feeling right now. So they share their answers. They're feeling great, they're struggling, they're a little frustrated, they want a little break. So I leave the music on, I put the memes there, and I change the gameplay setting. So they look forward to these kind of activities in the class. Okay, so I hope all the teachers were following the instruction. If you want to try out later, all you have to do is you have to go to quizzes to your browser and you need to create a teacher account. You need to pick an existing quiz and create your own for free. And then you can share the quiz or code or link with your teachers and start getting the instant feedback. So you can always create a free account. The students, they don't require an account as of now. If you are sharing a code or link, they can join without a particular account as well. Apart from that, I have a good news for all the teachers who have joined us today. You'll be getting a 1 month free subscription of Super Plan because you have joined here, and you'll be getting a certificate as well. So all you need to do is I'll be sharing a feedback form in the link. So just fill that feedback form and click on that feedback form. You'll be taken to this welcome to super trainer program. So the feedback form link has been shared with you all. Just click on that. I'll be waiting for all the teachers so that we can fill it together. So what we have to do here is we click on start. Now we write the name that we want to be appeared on the feedback form. So I'm writing my name and then click on OK. Now, your quizzes email. So you have to write down your email which you have used to sign up on quizzes. Okay. So my email ID is this. I'm gonna log in with this ID. Click on OK. Enter my mobile number. Now, this is the place where you have to enter the trainer's name. So you have to write my name. My name is Ritika. So you write Ritika Tyagi here and click on OK. Now it will ask you to give the trainer quizzes email. So you have to write down my email ID, which I'll be posting in the chat box again. So my email ID is mail ritika06 at the rate gmail.com. You write my email ID and tap on OK. I'll just share my email ID with you all in the chat box. Just give me one moment. Okay, it has been posted. So Once you have entered my email ID, click on OK. Then you have to enter today's date because your training has been conducted today. So you need to mention 30th April. Okay, this is the month first. So we need to mention the month, which is April, then the day, and then the year, 2022. And then click on OK again. Now, date of certificate request. Please add today's date when the form is submitted. So we are submitting the form today. We are going to enter today's date, which is 04 and 30th April, and year is 2022. And click on submit now. So now you'll receive a message. Your certificate will be shared shortly. You'll also be receiving a month of super for free. And what you can do is you can join our community of quizzes where a lot of trainers like me are there. We keep on sharing our best practices over there, and whatever ideas which has worked for our classroom. So you'll find all the community over there. You click here on join our community and it will take you to the Facebook page where all the quizzes trainers and all the new features are being updated. Now when you go back, I hope the feedback form has been filled. So you will be receiving the certificate, I guess, within a week or so. Just let me know how Quizizz is working out for all of you. If you have any other further query, you can reach out to me on my Learning Jar mail ID, which is learningjar.india@gmail.com. You can write back to us and share your experiences. If there is a topic on which you would like us to conduct a training session, just let us know, and try to make your classes interesting and interactive. Try to be more creative as a teacher, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you, everyone.